But I used to get a lot of ass whooping because I used to ask her straight up, like, why are we going to church? Like, these people seem to be very upset at Jesus.
I don't think that's what the premise is at church. But I'm about to be upset with your ass for not telling me we were recording.
You said let's go. You was like, hey, I'm ready to get to work. Woo, woo, woo. Your energy up. You feel me? You welcoming
Yeah,
people
I
to the
look up and
restroom.
that shit live, man. What's happening, y'all? We back for another episode. While Amp is taking his time, we are holding it down. It's your boy, Mr. Jefferson, Jeff Rogan. Y'all see it on the screen. And Triple S Banks, a light skinned nigga.
Yeah, he said he wanted to see the guns. What that look like? Yeah, brother. When I put the 24.4-inch pythons on you, pause.
It looked like somebody had mashed up some yellow clay and just slapped it on top of your arm.
What was the character's name from The Simpsons? It was like Willie, the Scottish dude with the
Oh
red
yeah, yeah,
beard.
really, yeah.
Remember, he take off his shirt, he'd be
Oh,
super deep.
he was swole. Bro wasn't playing. Bro was a beast.
Why was
If
he?
I had anybody on my team, it's Willie, man. Willie ready to squash some shit.
I think he used to get hot, and then he used to do like get mad, metaphorically hot. He used to get mad and try to flex. But I'm trying to figure out why he used to do that all the time.
I don't remember. I couldn't watch The Simpsons growing up, so I'm catching up as an adult.
Yeah, you told that story before on here. You don't need to talk about it again unless you want to, but I
I,
remember
wa-
as to why you talked about it.
I wasn't planning on it, but
No, you don't
uh,
know.
but yeah, they loud as hell next door, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. I be in here like, yo, I know we talk about Jesus in there, but good lord, like
So imagine when Random X at Night come back.
it ain't gonna be on Tuesday, so.
That'd be fine. You know what I mean? The Lord like pussy too. I
I,
mean,
I'm not blaspheming, man. So
did
I'm
he,
not joining in with you.
but was his homegirls not, you know what I mean, on the blade?
Hey, so they say
So
I'm
that's what I'm
off.
saying.
I'm off camera, so I can twist up, ladies and gentlemen. But
I mean, this nigga we what he said on Rush Hour, what? The
I,
funniest go ahead.
nah, what you was gonna say?
Somebody brought a valid point yesterday talking about Rush Hour 2. They was like Carter was in Hong Kong telling people he LAPD.
Yeah, niggas know about LA, don't it? Come on, back. You supposed to be holding it down for your city.
But not in Hong Kong, and then telling people you 12 is hilarious. Like, yo, I'm LAPD, like 2,000 miles away, or however far Hong Kong, China is from Los Angeles. That
But
is pretty
it's big
funny.
time, man. Nah, I think like LA closer to Hong Kong, ain't it? Than Florida.
Let's look it up. Then Florida, y'all away from what's the closest thing besides Cuba? If you keep going south, hold on.
I
Let's
think
just look.
it's like a 24-hour flight to Hong Kong, and I know it's at least like 16 hours for real to that side of the earth at least.
Let's see, because you got to cross the Pacific.
I'm thinking about Tokyo actually. I mean,
Yeah,
still saying not the
because
same, but
nonstop from Hong Kong to LA is ridiculous. It's a 13-hour stop. I mean, 13-hour flight nonstop. That's a lot, bro.
I don't know. I think I could do 13 hours a day in the sky would be hell.
I couldn't, bro, because you got to think it's 13 hours. You can't like unless we leave it early in the morning. I
Is
gotta
it
wash my ass.
any layovers? You gotta wash your ass within 13 hours, bro. What is you doing?
Yo, we about to be on the flight with chickens and stuff. Nah, if you do a connected flight, it's 22 hours.
13 hours straight is a long time. I can't sit still that long, so.
Yeah, it's not enough. Well, not lying. It's a lot of movies and TV shows I can watch, but after a while, your eyes gonna hurt from the screen.
I am not worried about that at all. Sitting down for 13 hours would kill me. My arthritis would start flaring up.
Facts. And then
I
think
be
about
sitting down
this.
on the couch when we record some days, and my arthritis just be going through it. I'm like, Lord have mercy, man.
That and your ADHD, because you be moving around a lot. So 13 hours, yeah, you gonna be moving around every 5 minutes. And then imagine somebody not doing something close to first class. Like if you went coach 13 hours.
Yeah, I don't know. Hugged up against four motherfuckers would be bad.
Gee, and then it's just the smells. I'm thinking about like, yo, you don't know where everybody coming from. They probably ain't washed they ass in 24 hours.
That's crazy. That's crazy to think.
So
But you don't control shit, so you got a point, I guess.
tell me about it.
All right, so let's get into some of these topics, man. What we got first on the list, my brother?
Yes, sir. First topic we got right now is let's first send our condolences out to Coolio and his family. R.I.P. to Coolio.
Man, that one actually was a surprise. I mean, you don't hear much about Coolio throughout the years and whatnot throughout the time, but it definitely came as a surprise to hear Coolio died. It brings back, all of his classics, of course. So taking the time to appreciate some of his hits and whatnot is amazing for real. For me, one of his biggest things was the Kenan and Kel theme song, man.
And ironically, they brought back Keenan and Kel earlier this year on Netflix. Like I ran through season 1 and 2, and I go to sleep watching it, but I ran through season 2 already, so now I got to go through the websites to find season 3 and 4. I think it only went up to 3 if I'm not mistaken. Remember last episode, Keenan and them went to Montana.
I'm trying to remember that. What did they go to Montana for? That will help me.
Pops, because remember Pops was like an air traffic controller. I think they went to Montana because of a job.
Got you. Yeah. So Kenan and Kel, like I say, that one there was a good one for me. Because Coolio wrecked that theme song. He went crazy on that theme song.
And that's like prime Coolio.
Let me pull up the lyrics to that shit, because
you don't know by heart.
Nigga, you acting like you do. Go ahead.
I do.
Rap it, and I'm pulling up the lyrics. So here we go.
Okay, if I fail,
put your ass on the test.
Hold on, let me put the Summer Jam screen up too. Matter of fact, for this one. Oh, here we go. Everybody out there, tell your homeboys and homegirls it's time for Kenan and Kel. So keep it later in the afternoon and don't touch that dial on Feel the Groove, because there's always something you don't want to miss. Kenan and Kel, let's see Kenan and Kel, because I'm going to watch Kenan, because Kenan be stripping with a plan on this mom.
Okay, hold up. You just said Kenan be stripping, and I gotta stop you there. You was close. You got a lot of it wrong, but when you said Kenan be stripping, I was like, let's stop. Let's hold this down. So I'm gonna give you the lyrics. Everybody out there, go run and tell your homeboys and homegirls it's time for Kenan and Kel to keep you laughing in the afternoon. So don't touch that dial or leave the room, because they're always into something up front, and you don't want to miss it. It's double K like to the greatness, to get the greatness. Kenan and Kel, or should I say Kel and Kenan? And you gotta watch Kenan, because Kenan be scheming with a plan or a plot to make it to the top, but they're kind of in the middle because they're always getting caught. This ain't the Hardy Boys or a Nancy Drew mystery. It's just Kenan and Kel in your vicinity, like Siegfried and Roy, or Abbott and Costello, Magic and Kareem, or Penn and Teller. Somebody's in trouble. Oh, here it goes on Nick.
Bars.
Coolio, man. We need a flex bomb. Boom.
Man, is it here? Let's see if it's here. Nah. Damn, ain't no flexible. All right, I'll use this instead.
Big black nigga.
I'm gonna let that one pass, but it wasn't fitting, so I do want to point that out.
Yeah, Amp don't have no type of flex bomb on here.
I do want to point that out. But yeah,
Coolio had one. I remember him, Crisscross, and Ice Cube. You know how he do it. It's like the first rap songs that had a huge influence on my life. I was little. Coolio had not Gangsta's Paradise. It was this song called 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your booty on the floor. I don't remember the title, but I just remember how it went, like the hook. And he took some kids like Big Wheel trying to get to a party fast. A lot of West Coast songs was doing that for some reason, taking kids Big Wheel.
The West Coast actually was on point with all the videos. They've always been pretty solid with the videos.
And that's at a time where violence corroded the city. So it's like we having fun while violence is going on, which is wild.
Gotta love that.
So also Coolio, by the way, if nobody knows, he's from Compton. You feel me? Y'all know how I feel about Compton, but at the same time, it's love to Coolio. So wasn't he on the cooking show at one point?
I don't know. I don't know much about Coolio's life at all. Outside of Kenan and Kel, Gangsta's Paradise, maybe a few other records, I couldn't tell you much about Coolio.
Yeah,
I think he could have done some amazing thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, other than did he get nominated for Gangsta's Paradise?
I don't know.
I think he won a Grammy for it. Let me see.
Come on, LA legend. You supposed to know this shit.
My brother, I ain't gonna remember everything. You act like I remember everything about Shay Shice, and that's one of my favorite rappers ever.
Who?
Exactly. It's before your time.
Right.
He did a song with Nate Dogg called "This Is Where I Want to Be." Huge like barbecue song out here. Damn, he had 6 kids. Does it say if he got nominated? Okay, he's won 5 awards. So American Music Award he won for favorite rap/hip hop artist in 1996. He got nominated in 97. He won a Grammy for best rap performance, Gangsta's Paradise, MTV. He's won 3 awards. So if I'm not mistaken, he was still going on tour too. A lot of those older acts like Cool Mo D and all them, they still go on tour, like overseas most.
Oh yeah, I could definitely believe he was still getting shows. I mean, Gangsta's Paradise will live forever. That song alone.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where older acts they can still go on tour. Wu-Tang on tour right now with Nas.
True indeed. True indeed. True indeed.
Again, RIP to Coolio.
That actually would be a pretty fire tour to go to. Nas and Wu-Tang. I gotta check the tour schedule on that.
I'll look it up right now.
I mean, I don't want to derail us for something, so. But yeah, if they got a tour, a stop in Florida, I might be interested. What's the last concert you've been to?
Damn, it's been a minute. I honestly don't remember. I think the last one maybe was when I was little.
When you were little, nigga, have you been to a concert?
No, I think that's the last one I went to. Like LL Cool J was in his prime.
You said it like it was gonna be 7 years ago.
No, I haven't been to a concert in a minute. Oh, I'm tripping. Big Crit in 2014 or 15.
That's dope. That's dope. So I'm trying to think of the last concert I've been to. I want to say it might have been a Big Crit show actually, but I think I've been to something since then. I know I went to Crit in 2020, 2020 or 2019 down in Orlando. That was a hell of a night. Got stopped by the police. I told that story, but we ended up having to like drunk drive away. That was crazy. My latest show, I think, was a festival though.
Mm-hmm.
Going down to Basil and whatnot, shit like that. You know what I mean? Dreamville and whatnot. So yeah, I was just curious. But continuing on, we got a pretty interesting topic, man. This one stems from some internal police shit. So in 2021, there was a rape involving 4 cops, and there was another officer that was investigating this incident. recently he was found dead in what was supposed to be like a routine training experience. But I think if I read correctly, he was like brutally beat.
Mm-hmm. By four other cops.
One of the cops that he was investigating was there during the beating. So I definitely think it's time to start having some conversations about, what's going on with the police, because it doesn't make sense that something like this could even be like remotely allowed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have even had them two training together, period. One. Two, I mean, I can't say that because of the way the police work, but I will say this. I think there should have been someone there to be able to watch the situation. So it's very, very weird seeing that there was so much freedom for these officers to essentially kill that man.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm gonna try to be professional as much as possible. LAPD has to be, if not they one or two, corrupted police unit in this country. Right? They have multiple lawsuits, probably hell a day, because of the corruption, from civil suits to probably, well, they got a lot of, yeah. So it's a lot of corruption. The best thing I could say is if this something like this has been going on for that long and it's internally, and they haven't, but has the investigation even started yet? Let me make sure. Yeah. So if they just
Well,
started investigating it,
no,
go
no,
ahead.
no, no. I think what you're looking at, I mean, I think they've been investigating the death since the death. The lawyer of that officer is definitely doing his due diligence and pushing the matter forward. But I think that the officer had been investigating these four gentlemen over the last year, and I ain't even gonna call them gentlemen because you ain't no gentleman raping no woman. You know what I'm saying? Doing no shit like
No.
that.
And that
Uh,
happens all the time with LAPD too, by the way, people.
I mean, and it's not just LAPD; it's across the globe. You giving too much power to people that have no real training in ethical sense. So um,
Not to cut you off, have you actually seen the qualifications to become a police officer? It's not. It's
it is like a high school diploma. It's
yeah.
nothing.
Like you
It's
see the
literally
banners, they
nothing.
like you can get hired. Just go apply.
Yeah. I mean, I could imagine they pick up anybody and then it becomes a brainwashing experiment to where it's like, yo, let me teach you how to hate people. Essentially, that's how I look at it, because the way that you have to um, prepare someone for a situation makes you assume the worst.
Yeah.
I'm walking up with my gun on, with my hand on my gun because I'm afraid that you might shoot me. This is a
Right.
routine traffic stop, but I don't know who's in the car. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know why your tag is expired. I don't know. So again, I think that the culture of it in itself is to teach you how to hate. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that you encounter.
Right. And when you have a lot of egotistical people, sometime out of high school or out of college, that already are consumed by power before they even actually have the power, you'll go for a job like that. Just because it gives you a lot of leeway to do things that you would do if you were if you had it as a citizen. Now you can do it as an authority figure. So it's just okay. Now I get to do what I want to do on a grander scale too, and be on the payroll to do it. So
Yeah. I don't know. I think that it definitely needs to be reconstructed, if nothing else, the whole police system. So.
in the past, what 11 years now has shown that since Trayvon Martin or so. That's been what 11 years, something
I
like that.
mean, nigga, since the start of policing, it's needed reconstruction. So,
Yeah.
um,
But now, since it's on the grander scale via social media, one of the few things social media has done well with life it's like, all right, we continuously see this, even though we got grandparents or great grandparents that have said they've gone through this prior to even social media be way before that. But now it's on a grander scale and you can see it. And it seems like now a lot of them actually want to do it even more because it's on a grander scale.
I think that officers are getting to a point to where they want to do something. You have officers that are going too far to try and be good cops because they feel like their reputation was tarnished, and then you have those that are doing things in spite of. So it is it's a slippery slope, man. It's ugly. Um, but again, like I've never really been a fan of police, period, just because of the way that they target people. And I think that's exactly what it is. It's one thing to protect and serve, but in that is a response. You know what I'm saying? When you're going out of your way to essentially trap people, like police sitting behind trees, which I think they've outlawed now, but sitting behind trees trying to watch for someone speeding. I get why you would do it, but at the same time, when there's no reasonability within that, it's like, hey, you was going 7 miles over on the highway. I'm gonna overlook this. You know what I'm saying? You was 10 miles over. You know what I mean? Um, so I don't know. Again, it's been going on for all of time. Newspapers have shown it. Now it's just so national that the conversation really does need to be had. Um, but it's a tough conversation, admittedly, because how do you go about reconstructing the police system?
Right. And how do you reform a cop that does something like that? Because it's kind of no going back to having morality when you do anything along the lines of
America
this.
has nothing set up for reform. You know what I mean? Like no real uh, not for a chain of people. You know what I'm saying? I think what America has set up is for those that seek it themselves. You know what I mean? Like through therapy and things of that sort. But when it comes to like a police force, it's not like HR is even equipped to tell them how to deal with things psychologically and such.
Right. And America has been on like the same like sliders since they made the amendments. It's been on the same presets all these decades, centuries later, or a century later. It's been on the same type of rules. It's like, damn, well, everything needs to be redone again. Can we kind of just rewrite this again? Since the
And
Declaration of Independence has been the same thing.
yeah, but they don't want to change history, and we see that. I mean, even with Lizzo getting so much flack about the flute, um, people want to hold things sacred, but they're things that essentially don't have much value to us in real life. You know what I mean? On a day to day in today's society, at least.
Right, right.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, that's enough about that. You know what I mean? That's cop business. Let them deal with that. Condolences to them. To them. Um, but yeah, on to the next topic.
Yes, sir.
Ashanti is performing at the fair, man. How do you feel about that?
When the last time Ashanti been home?
Mm, I wouldn't know. Is she from Dallas?
Yeah, but when is the last time she been home?
I don't know.
Every time I see Ashanti, she's somewhere else. She ain't been home. Even when they did the whole we got to shut it down because of COVID thing, I ain't see her at home. She be on Dubai every day. She be on trips every day. I ain't hating. It's just like, damn. She
Nigga,
on a
she's
private jet every
single.
day.
She's single. I mean, I
Go
can't.
home, baby.
Go home to what, nigga? You saying it like she got a man at the house? Like you saying it like,
Well, shoot your shot so she can stay home because she on a jet every day.
bro? You sound like you hate it. I gotta be honest.
Well, to a certain degree, because I wish I could just tell her to come home.
This ain't the way to do it, brother.
All right, I know the way to do it, but nah, I don't have. Let me see. Let me put the banner up one more time. Performing live concert ticket outlets. I can't see the small.
I'm gonna say this because I don't know anything about the Dallas and Fort Worth State Fair. Um, it's hard to speak on this, but it does come as a shock to see Ashanti performing at a fair. Just reading those things together, right? Um, but I am gonna assume that fair is fire. I would like to see some video footage of how that turned out. It just passed, so it was October 1st. I got to check it out. But so I
Let's
should
see
have said
who else on the
she
marquee.
did perform at a fair.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who else is on the marquee. They just got her.
I mean, who else would they have, bruh? It's a fair.
Ja Rule.
I haven't seen them two together in years.
I don't know if I can put it on the screen due to copyright, but I could just tell you right now. So Trace Atkins performed Ashanti Preservation Hall. I have no idea who that is. A Spanish man, Chris. So it's a mixture of mostly country acts. Is all I see right now.
It is Dallas, bro.
And Craig Parker, but he's dressed like whoever that is. He's dressed like Elvis Presley. You're right. I mean, shouts out to her because she got to perform a lot around the acts. You think, it'd be some problems.
I don't know about that, man, but I hope she got a bag. I think that's what I'm gonna make the takeaway out of this. I hope she got a bag for it. I hope it was a hell of an event and turned out the way that they got it looking. It looked like it's a stadium behind her, and it looks like they just took pictures from like a random football game or like random events actually. So it's an interesting flyer. Um, I think seeing that Ashanti is at the fair would make me want to go to my local fair. Like, but again, I kind of feel like, damn, Ashanti, you at the fair.
Yeah, and this stage is massive. I'm looking at the YouTube video right now. I wish I could put it on camera, but once again, I'm trying to get clipped. It's her with the thigh meat out, and two dancers and a DJ, and it's like it's people turned up.
Does it look like it's a good crowd?
Oh, this crowd it's a lot of people.
Well, then, yeah, it might have been worth it, man. It might have been worth it. So, shout out to Ashanti. I mean, I don't see many artists doing things like that. So, I definitely think that's a great look for her to give back to the people to have that experience. Because if Ashanti pulled up anywhere for me, I probably would go. And I'm going to be singing that little, that Biggie shit. Um, One more
Yeah,
chance. I'll be singing that shit at the top of my lungs.
I thought you was gonna sing "Always on Time."
I
You could
mean,
do Ja Rule part.
One More Chance was such a better song.
Just do Ja Rule part, and then have Amp just do Ashanti part.
What are you on tonight, man? You're wilding, bro. Like, I'm not pause and we're gonna get off
I
of
actually
this.
Amp would do the Ja Rule part because he sound like Ja Rule, so baby, he just do that.
And you're continuing.
All right, I got you, brother. My fault.
I told you.
Green ass nigga.
That's about me. That's towards me. I hit the button myself. Pause.
Yeah, man. Don't let it happen again, bro. That was a wild slip up. I'm not even gonna call it. You intentionally said that, but
Ashanti got that dime, boy. When you get a chance, they got that dime. He's tearing them shorts up. Look like Chun Li out there, boy.
a minute ago you was hating, and now you sounding like you ain't had a glass of water in your life.
I actually need some right now. I'm parched. It can be Ashanti water.
Hit it again.
I got you.
Green ass nigga.
Why? I don't even know why we're still using that clip. That shit
It's
needs to be
been
deleted. That shit needs to be deleted, burned up. Like I'm tired of it. But hey, say la vie. Rachel Nichols was on All the Smoke. Did you beat that?
I have not because I don't like Matt Barnes or Steven Jackson.
Well, why not? Why not? I'm just
Well,
curious, so that we get some context out of you.
I don't like tough guys and they proceed to be a tough guy. One guy wants to go to O Block for some odd reason when you won a championship ring and you want to be around young people. I hate his fucking teeth. All right. And then Matt Barnes, as you know, your OG said, Kwame Brown, Dennis the Menace haircut happened. So he got a perm, but he a tough guy. But then now he talking about the Celtics coach. He's talking about, oh, I got some information. And then it's like, are you TMZ? And then he drove 6 hours for a woman. I can't do that.
All right, so I mean, both of them do some things that I mean, people. Period. If everyone knew everything about your life, they'd have some things they don't agree with. You know what I'm saying? It's tough to judge them off the things that you said, but yes, I can respect you saying you don't rock with either of them. Being real though, Steven Jackson will beat the shit out of you. Calling them tough guys. Hey, Steven Jackson, if not Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson will beat the shit out of you.
He's 6'6". Yeah, but at the same time, I ain't gonna fight nobody bigger than me. What
You
I mean
definitely,
by fight is fight,
you
and I'll
definitely
just
got to
leave it at
shoot his
that.
big ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or what I mean, you know what to do with a screwdriver, or you got that Joker poster behind you. You want to know how I got these scars?
Yeah.
So
So I mean, I'll say this. I thought it was interesting the kind of the way they allowed her to carry on without checking anything that she was saying. You know what I mean? They didn't really challenge anything, and I think that's what I should have said instead of checking. But they didn't challenge anything. Like she kind of went into depth and just doubled down to me about her statements. I get why she said what she said um, when referring to Malika Andrews or whoever it was actually, because I don't think it wasn't Malika, was it? Well,
yeah,
yes,
she
it
was
was.
talking.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because that's how the whole situation of her leaving
But I
ESPN
think there was
happened.
someone else that she had mentioned in that same quote. But yeah, about again, I understand what she was saying in the sense I'm a woman too. It took me a long time to get to where I'm at because ESPN also has a problem with their women hosts, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the way that she went about the race portion of it, she would never have said that. Like she would have never had that same energy. She would have never had the same vocal tone, the same verbiage if she was talking to someone black. She wouldn't have felt that same way. She wouldn't, let me say this, she wouldn't have had that same delivery if she was talking to someone of color.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
think that where she fucked up was this. It doesn't take away from her opportunity to do it again. It takes away from her opportunity to do it then. And she approached it as this is it. Now that they haven't given it to me, it's a wrap from here. But really, she could have power moved her way into having a bigger segment next year. You know what I'm saying? The following year or whatever. But yeah, the only reason the only qualms I have is that they didn't challenge anything. They allowed her to double down on what she was saying as if she should be justified in the whole, pick me over her situation.
I mean, the route I want to go, I ain't gonna go, but I'll just say this. But there's some people OGs. They claim to be OGs. A lot of people, I won't say names that are on other podcasts, and they 40 plus as well. Well, one of them is 40 plus, and he says he's an OG. It's like, dog, just because you old don't mean you somebody OG. So there's somebody OG that's letting this lady say whatever she want to say about this young woman. Even though I understand what she's trying to say, it's like you on their podcast doing this. And I'm like, wouldn't that be a conflict of interest as both of y'all work for ESPN, especially Dennis the Menace? Don't he work for ESPN?
I don't know that it's necessarily a conflict of interest because, again, they had a podcast. I mean, they have a very successful podcast that creates opportunity for them to be a bigger attraction at ESPN in itself. I think that one of the big things to focus on, though, is that it makes your voice null when you're not challenging people in regards to things that you're vocal about at a later point. So again, excluding all of the outside about Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, in this situation, I just felt like they should have asked more questions that would have allowed her to elaborate on how she feels about race relations. You know what I mean?
And this is their show. So the fact that you brought her onto the show means that y'all pre-screen these questions. Like if you didn't want to ask these questions, you could have asked something else. I'm pretty sure you could have talked to producers and be like, I don't want to talk about this show.
That's
I
the
don't want
only
to talk about
reason
this.
to have her on the show, though. Outside of that, she has, I mean, just being real, without her being on ESPN, um, if you take out the whole Malika Andrews situation and her getting fired, she has no real. She could talk about her accolades, but that wouldn't be the platform for her.
Well, it could be because they really see her in a certain light. So it's like they could put her over. So they could talk about like you've done this and you've done that. Because obviously they like her personally as a
But what would
person.
that what would that get to? Because she's not going back to ESPN, and there's nothing really bigger than ESPN. So yeah, she could go to like NBA TV and hold it down over there, right? But that's not like a huge. That's not a step up. So again, like I don't see how they could like I don't see how they could have skipped that topic. I just wish they would have challenged it more.
Because it seemed to be what they show. If you got a name, of course, that's the whole point of it because they do these type of interviews. Unless you have a name to you, it's people that they personally like. And I think that's how the whole ordeal happened last year when you feel me, Thanos came out of nowhere. It's like, why y'all speaking on my name? Because they had somebody on there that run his mouth as well. And it's somebody that they like, being Gilbert Arenas, and then it's a snowball effect. I think now it's more so, okay, we're gonna have these prominent people on here like Kevin Hart, but I mean, Kevin Hart does a lot of interviews because he's a hustler, he's promoting. But I think also when it's not somebody that's a celebrity figure, they tend to put people on there that they like, which is understandable. I think everybody does that with their podcast. You put people on that you actually want to talk to. But you absolutely right. What else can they ask her about? But I think also they doing it now because it's been a year, some change, or it's almost been a year since she's been off ESPN. So it's like, well, we heard what happened, but not really. So why don't you tell us exactly what happened and not
So
challenge it? I should say.
I mean, I think again that's the only reason to have her on, to where if you challenge it and she has a viable defense to it or a viable reasoning as to why she sees things different, then you can begin to respect her more. You can begin to give her back the credit that she may deserve. But if you allow her to say that, hey, I understand you have a race issue, but now's not the time to deal with it because you are already gonna give me this opportunity. I think it's childish.
You're right, but also maybe they think about their superiors being ESPN might say if they say something, it might be okay. Come into the office type situation.
I don't know. I don't know, but
Because
I'm
it's
giving my point.
no, you're absolutely right. I'm agreeing with you, but it's just the
Yeah,
fact I try to look on different spectrums of everything. I try to be intellectual thinking when it comes to situations like this. Because with me personally, if I've had this conversation with her, I'm like, all right, we don't really need to talk into it, especially if you're going to go that route in front of both of us and relating because we look like this young woman. So if you're going to do that, then it's like let's just not like ask some other questions. Can you get 40 minutes to usually they podcast like 40 minutes to an hour. Can you get 40 minutes to an hour out of Rachel Nichols? Probably not, because what else can she say? But
but again, it wouldn't even matter if you could. It would be a matter of can you get 40,000 people to listen to that podcast?
they get ratings. Also, too, I just had this thought. What if they bosses told them to do it? Even though she has nothing to do with ESPN anymore. People still keep
I
close
don't think
relationships to each other.
ESPN. I don't think ESPN really has a factor in this, honestly.
No,
Just
no, no.
because
Not to cut you off, but no, you're right. But I'm saying somebody in one of those offices has a close relationship with her. And like, why don't you just get Rachel on there? Just because maybe it makes them look better at their job, even though she has nothing to do with that. Because people still keep relationships outside of work, even if they don't work at that job anymore.
I don't know, man. I think when people do podcasts, it's a part of a campaign. I think that, off at that level, especially, it's a part of a media run. So I could see her PR team saying, let's start to get you on different platforms talking about, your career, talking about your stats, your resume, and then we can talk about this so that people understand where you are coming from. That's the only reason I could see her doing anything at this point because there's for her there is no step above ESPN to my knowledge. I just can't fathom anything. So forgive
It's
me if I'm
Disney. No, it's Disney. So you're right.
but you know if she goes onto the platform and she doesn't talk about it, I think it hurts her more than it helps her. I just think it was on them to have challenged her more. I can't blame her for saying what she said to them. Doubling down essentially. In my opinion, that's what she did. Um, I can't judge that because one, again, she wasn't challenged on anything, and then two, because if that's how she feels, that's how she feels. I would rather know now that it's in the open, clear and flat out, so I could just say, "All right, I'm done with Rachel Nichols." But you know what I'm saying?
Right. And she alluded to it last year, but now it's kind of like, okay, I'm not there anymore, so I could just say whatever.
Yeah.
And just say whatever. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. But at the same time, like you said, they shouldn't have said something. But at the same time, once again, I think about how people think about boss. I ain't say nothing, boss. That's how some people be.
But I think that when you're in journalism, period, like a part of that is to challenge. Like podcasting is a new form of journalism, in my opinion.
Yeah. It is journal. That's the whole point. I
But,
think I'm
oh,
glad. No, I'm 1,000% agreeing with you because I've been telling people that shit for years. It's like, dog, it's just not as prominent as the news and radio yet, but it is the new form of radio and news. The problem is a lot of people take shit that they see, especially if it's clickbait, and then say it on their podcast. It's like, wait, the news don't always say the same thing unless it's a national thing, which this would be in a certain way, but
I
they'll
don't know.
flip it their own.
I think that the news, I think all of it follows a revolving, you know what I mean? And that's what people fail to realize. News, like paper journalism, you know what I mean, and podcasting, they all have to talk about what's relevant to engage their audience, unless it's specified to something that is not time sensitive. So, um, I brought it up though to say again, in journalism, you have to challenge. You have to be willing to go deeper into the what, the why, the who, the how. All of that. Even if at times it means you might risk your job. And I hate to say it like that, but that's the only way you get good journalism. And when you do get good journalism, oftentimes people respect that.
And you know who does a good job, despite the fact that he's done some nasty shit. So I'm not giving him credit for that, Charlemagne, because he's challenged people on his podcast
He
for better
does
or for
do that.
worse. But the fact that he does that, and that's what made Hot, what is it, Breakfast Club, Hot 97, whatever company they under. But
I
it's
think Charlemagne is great at his interviews, like the way that he challenges his guests, and the way he kind of alludes to questions and then hits you almost like a freight train as far as getting asked something on the spot. But the one thing that I hate about Charlemagne's persona is that, and this is just my personal take, and I wouldn't even say hate, I just say I don't appreciate that he oftentimes uses his platform to give other people the chance to not seem like they're ignorant, right?
yeah,
And oftentimes following that, he he says something that is equally as ignorant to the actions of some of the things he's used to rectify. So I think it's like a weird like teeter.
yeah. It's more so because he was. I don't know. Lately, it doesn't seem like he's doing it that much. Be it, I don't really watch even the interviews on Hot 97 or Breakfast Club because I did want to see the different world. They had I forgot his shoe name, but they had Dwayne Wayne and they had Whitley from a different world. So I actually want to watch that. But it seems like now because they actually got bought out, like the whole company got bought out by overseas, by somebody overseas. So now it seems to be like now it's just all right interview time. And then plus he has a TV deal too, so he can't be smelling cheers and all that Charlemagne anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that he is a really good journalist. He is a really good interviewer. All of that. Um, but then he
Especially
gets on the Breakfast Club and he says some ignorant shit. And we all do it. I just think that again, for you to be used like when he did the Travis Scott interview after the deaths, and it was like, or after the concert, let me say, and again, RIP to those people that did lose their lives, and my prayers to their families.
we almost a year into that, right?
I want to say a little over a year, but um, I didn't understand him doing that interview because it's like you're not the person that would make me feel sympathy for anyone, no matter what you ask. I know you don't care.
Also, too, we got to remember he comes from the Wendy Williams tree. Like he worked for her, so it's like he's really good at doing this, but he came from the devil per se. So it's like, what I mean? You're gonna learn the craft.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about Wendy Williams, so I can't. I ain't gonna touch on that.
Yeah, y'all look it up. Audience, look it up. She was wilding back in the 2000s. Well, shit before that, but around 2000, she was the first shade room. I'll say that, and that's not a good thing. But she was the
Yeah, I
first.
do know that she was like into the gossip shit on her radio station, but that's not to say it like all women do it, but that's what I would expect from a woman, not a man.
Hey, brother,
All men should stay out of women business.
that's where we at Random Acts. You feel me?
So let me ask you this, man. Switching subjects. There's been a lot going on online. Cardi B has been in a lot of beef as of late, man. It's looking like since that lawsuit, it just seems like she's not getting along with the ladies, right? Have you caught her little exchanges with Akbar and JT?
Brother. I ain't gonna hit the drop again because I hate fucking drops a lot on the
Did you
podcast.
catch it? Did you catch it?
So let me say this. I stay out of women's business, but the homegirl's been telling me what's been going. No, hold on. But the homegirl's been telling me what's going on. I don't know who. Allah Lakbar. I love Allah too. But you know what I mean? That's all I know about her. I don't know anything else other than what people have told me, including y'all and JT. I haven't seen it, but I know what's going on to the extent. And then the Nicki Minaj stuff too, right?
Yeah. So the rumor mill is that, and again, I don't feel like this conversation is headed into women's business. That's why I was asking, had you
I
seen it?
know.
Anyway, where I was going was to say this. Do you feel like social media is diminishing? That's the train outside.
Right. I was like, God?
Do you feel like social media, as good as it is diminishing the like stardom factor?
Hell no. Dude, Chris Shaw, I don't know nothing about that girl. She looked good. But all I know about her is she got a blue face tattoo, and then she put out a sex tape with him the other day. All this other stuff. Cardi B ain't put out a song in 5 years. JT is with Uzi Vert, and she waiting for her homegirl to come from Diddy's house, and I'll leave that alone. No, social media now is the personality and the talent. You don't have to be talented; just be personality. That's it.
So I think like I can respect that. I can respect that. I think what I mean as far as stardom is like that level of like separation. And I feel like when we see artists like Cardi beefing with an up and coming artist for one, and then beefing with someone not to say beneath her, because I'm not trying to discredit JT, but someone that isn't on the same level as far as status goes right now. I think that it makes the commoner feel so accessible. You know what I mean? It makes them seem more accessible. So I think for a long time people were putting Cardi up there, like a Nicki Minaj. You know what I mean? Um, I'm not sure that they're doing that same thing after seeing, like, Nicki Minaj keeps a lot of her shit kind of construed to where you gotta really go through the rumor mill to find out a lot of her beefs and her like sneaky shady doings. They're saying that she's starting all of this beef for Cardi. So I think that's funny, but using that as one example, and then even someone like Kodak. Kodak to me is definitely a star, right? But I think it's things like his social media antics and his social media rants that put him at a level to where people keep him almost neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
And we just saw a prime example of that too. So I put it up for a second. Obviously, I didn't want to put it in front of you, Pauls, as you was cutting this promo. But if y'all look at the Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles thing, and then he put the location, it's like, yeah, brother, it's only been about 2 weeks now. It's kind of bad timing. It's a bad time, Bob. With the pink on as it relates to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which I think is this month, if I'm not mistaken. So that was a couple years ago, and then obviously I don't really need to get into the Kobe thing because it's been 2 years and it still seems like it's been a lifetime since that happened. It carries on to, and it's something I talked to about one of my co-hosts earlier today. It's like, dude, why don't people just shut the fuck up anymore? Like, when did over talking become cool? Like, you don't have to share or talk about every single thing or do everything. Like, if you would have had done this in privacy, we wouldn't known about it. Like, somebody probably would have taken a picture, obviously, because we got technology, but you know what I mean? They caught you doing it. Okay, you could be like, damn, I didn't want everybody to see it. But the fact that you out here getting cheap heat by doing this, it's like, what's the point? Like what Cardi doing, I kind of like it. Like I said, I know a little bit about the details, but I kind of like it. It's funny to me. All the women fighting and stuff like that. That's how I know, the seasons are changing. And that's how
But
I know.
that's not what stars do. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, Lil Baby is the best like representation of what a star is today.
But also
Lil Wayne was
he's
the
a street
best.
guy too. Not to cut you off.
Lil Wayne was the best representation of what a star was. Jay-Z was the best representation. The beefs that they got into mattered. You get what I'm saying? Like Drake is the representation of what a star is in the sense the shit that they address is still again construed to where it makes it like okay, I'm gonna invest more time into you so that I can find out about X, Y, and Z, which means I have to listen to your music now. I have to watch your interviews. I have to, you know what I'm saying? They made it that kind of treasure hunt. But I think the double-edged sword of social media today is we see the rise of stardom because of it, and we see the fall of it just as quick because people don't know when to disassociate themselves from those same acts.
And right. And then you start thinking like I used to have thoughts like when it started really getting over hyperactive far as like the social media stuff. Like I was listening to and it was in the chat, but I listened to it as soon as it came out. Benny the Butcher talking about the Freddie Gibbs situation. Shouts out to Freddie Gibbs, a friend of the show. But so I won't talk too much into that. But how he talked about, I don't know where it came from because I saw a tweet. It's like now the subliminal tweets, the IG story, especially, even the TikToks when people allude to stuff or do stuff, and then there's people that's not even popular. They put stuff on their TikTok alluding to dates or did this to somebody and did this to somebody. Like we'll probably get into it later on. They need to ask me. It's like you told us, so now you told us. But then going back to what you're saying, far as a stardom factor, that's what keeps you around. Because if it wasn't for Cardi B antics in the past 5 years, if it was just like, let's say this is the 2000s when we came up, if it just had to be music, it'd be like Chingy. Like, yeah, I remember, like, I like it like that. And I remember Bodiak Yellow or whatever. But now it's like you got to keep that up because we see you on Pepsi commercials. We see your brand. We
But
see
I
the
feel like
IG.
she's done enough, like as far as she's done enough to stay relevant with her things in politics, her brand associations, all of that, right? What I mean though is, if it was the '90s, seeing a lot of like, I think just as entertaining as it was to see a lot of those beefs, a lot of those artists fizzled out right after they had beef with those acts. You know what I'm saying? So me and Amp kind of talked about what were some of the good beefs on the Nas episode, the last Nas episode that we did together. So if you haven't heard that, sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/REO podcast. Let's take a break and say that. And shout out to everybody that is on the Patreon. Y'all see your names down at the bottom. Thank you, 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 thank you. But yeah, like Cube and Common. Cube kind of fizzled out after that. Common had a run, but Cube wasn't, as big as he was after that. You know what I'm saying? As he didn't carry that same momentum after that. Cannabis and LL, both of those artists fizzled out right after that beef. Cannabis didn't even get a chance. Essentially, that nigga dropped a record, started the beef, and then was done. Rap career over. Jay-Z and Nas fizzled out. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to say that he was done. It's not to say that Nas was like, I feel like Nas won the beef, but Nas's stardom started to lessen after that.
Mm-hmm. And then going back to Ja Rule earlier, it's like Ja Rule was talked about. Then 50 Cent came and it was like, all right, and that's actual like street politics too. So that made it even more embarrassing for him.
Yeah, so again, I just look at it to say like some things like on social media definitely limit how successful these artists become. Some things really enhance it. So it's a double-edged sword. I was just curious, your take on like whether or not stardom is affected by, by social media antics.
Yeah. Again, it
Whether
creases
it's
it.
beef, whether it's the ignorant shit Kodak was posting, whether it's Krayshawn shit, you know what I mean? Like I feel like Krayshawn is on her rise. So the ignorant things that she's doing, though it might be frowned upon, it puts her at the level she's hoping to be, right?
Yeah.
And from there, it's gonna be on her to either change those actions to sustain, you know what I mean? Or continue it up. 6ix9ine fizzled out. Like 6ix9ine is doing all kinds of shit to stay relevant, at least here in the States. I feel like any artist is gonna be appreciated overseas. They're into the culture, you know what I mean? They appreciate just being able to see black rappers, I feel like. But here in the States, certain things matter, and seeing a lot of that shit become public, I don't think is good for any brand.
Right, right. Like the artist that you mentioned that Cardi B has problems with. I'm like, I never heard of her until you talked about it, and then my lady friends talked about it. So it's like,
But she's up and coming, so I don't think that on her side it's a negative per se. Like, yes, it's not a good look. Like they went in on each other. You know what I'm saying? They're both taking low blows. Cardi is doing a lot of low blows that I feel like don't help her. To all of her counterparts, but that's just my take. I think that we're starting to see that people aren't as big as they were in the 90s because again you see them arguing online. Like Wale to me would never be a major artist in my eyes just because the way I saw him arguing with common people on Twitter and things like that, even how he responds to certain things. He did it as recent as of a few months ago, you know what I mean? And I think that you have to, once you've reached a certain level, you have to be above that. You have to say, I don't care.
didn't he say something to you? He said, "Fuck them rugs. I use my
Man,
Nike boots to step on them."
chill out.
Because you was pre-show, you was like, man,
Nah,
I
nah, I
was
don't. I don't. I hate when y'all do that. I don't be slandering Wale just because or nothing like that. I just again, I'm giving my take on it to say, I think that certain things that you do affect the perception of how people look at your level of stardom.
especially if people don't like you. Like, yeah, not too many people like Wale.
Again, I don't want to make this a Wale thing.
That's fine. We're just not a fan of him. Sorry, I'm not.
You double down.
The funniest thing from this is people was like, "Why nobody's saying Remy Ma's name?" And I said, "Well, y'all look it up yourselves as to why nobody's mentioning her."
Well, Remy Ma is not rapping. Remy Ma is like chilling. So that's a joke. I mean,
Also, yeah, just leave her alone. That's all I can tell anybody. Yeah, just leave her alone. They know. They all know.
yeah,
Her and little Kim, yeah, just leave them alone. And Kim might not have a problem, but people around her.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't speak on none of that. But again, my point was just that seeing some of that, is just like, yo, never mind that shit and keep it moving. Because even the shit with Cardi and JT, it's allegedly behind a fake account. So that's why I say you just gotta ignore. You just gotta ignore shit.
That's actually hilarious. I didn't know that part. That's funny.
Supposedly, I don't know, and I'm not here to speculate, but I just wanted to use those two things as an example because they were recently brought up. You know, like the Cardi shit recently happened, and the Kodak shit was recently brought up, as far as the PNB Rock post, and then the shit that he's done just over the years.
Right. Hey man, Kodak could continue to do that. Like nothing he does surprise me at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he has a cult following. He has a cult following, so in that regard, you know, he like a Boosie. But again, I think that's some of the things that limited Boosie is now what's limiting Kodak. You know what I mean? And like, yeah, you'll always be a big name, but again, you never reach that full potential. That's how I look at it. So
Right. And they probably comfortable with that just because you already know better than me being from the South. Boosie is like a chitlin circuit legend. Like he can go to a college right now in the South and I'm good for the year. So that's probably how Kodak sees it as well.
all right.
But as far as the women go, don't fight, man. Just hug. Just put that on social media.
Now they need to go back to doing like those, you know, collaborative records to where you heard, you know, several like female rappers on different records. You know what I'm saying? And then joint records to where it might be five of them, shit like that.
Like ladies' night. Yeah, they should bring me that celebrity death match, yeah.
With everything going on, excuse me, it's almost like watching it anyway. So
Yeah, that's all I could do in that instance. I'm like, yeah, Joe kind of made it dark because it's kind of like
I
it
don't
was real
mean
life.
to, but you know
But you're absolutely right.
they don't need to bring back a show that's encouraging something.
Yeah, because these kids, they'll take it far. Like, yeah, let's really set this up. Or somebody in Dubai gonna put Floyd in the mix of all this because he fight like every week now for like $2 million.
Man, I don't know what the hell you talking about.
Oh, Floyd be doing exhibitions like every month, bro.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying you went from, you
They
know,
gonna treat
left
the
field to right
celebrities.
field.
They gonna treat the celebrities like the Floyd exhibition fights, Jake Paul or something like that.
So you see, Popeyes got
Great transition. It's dinner time for me, especially. So yeah,
it's dinner time and we about to talk about breakfast. Boy, what do you be on over there? What
hey,
you
I eat.
smoking sherm sticks out in LA?
Yeah, I'm about to get some more. Actually, I do eat like breakfast at dinner. I prefer it at that time.
Man, shut up, cause ain't nobody serving you breakfast at dinner unless you have to go to IHOP or Waffle House.
There you go. Ain't no
We
Waffle House
talking
around here.
about Popeyes, man. Popeyes finna start serving breakfast. Are you?
Absolutely. Before you even finish, I'm all in.
How am I ask you that? And you just said you prefer eating breakfast at dinner. Nigga finna buy his breakfast and eat it 12 hours later. He
That's
was
what you're
just
supposed to
telling us
do.
he need a 12-hour shower.
But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put that mug in the oven because I don't use the microwave. I saw. I wish I had the picture up here, but they got gravy. I never had gravy on no damn chicken like that. But you gotta understand too. If you eat this in the morning, anybody, you gonna have a long day. Like you gonna be, especially if it's like 6 a.m. You got like a 12-hour shift or so. You might
Yeah,
be exhausted.
they kind of wild because it do look like you get like 2 wings of biscuits, some big ass mashed potatoes, and some hash browns. That's a whole
That's a
lot of starch.
no.
That's a
That's
whole
a
lot of starch for one, but two, man, shit, you eat that chicken and the mashed potatoes, your ass gonna be done for.
I don't know if people can see it. That's a big ass pancake with a 2 piece. And I'm trying to see what's that. Oh, that's syrup at the bottom. I thought it was bread. That's enough, yo. That's early in the morning too. It's gonna be a long day.
Oh man, for me, shit, I'm gonna get my nap early. 10, 11, you know what I'm saying? I'll be productive after that. But
Can we get the lemonade at that time too? Because it's gonna be a long day if you could do that.
I tell you what.
A pancake, a big ass pancake, 2 weeks, and then let's say you want to go full obesity with it, and you want to get some red beans and rice, and
I
then
refuse.
lemonade.
I refuse to believe that was just one pancake, bro. Don't nobody serve you just one pancake. So that was like two pancakes, two pieces, and yeah, that's
It's
bro. That
two,
looked like
like three actually.
yeah. I was gonna say that might be four pancakes, bro.
It's how
Like
much? If it's $12, is like all right. Let's say it's $7, right? They underselling. This should
they
be a
serving you
$13.
a cartoon stack of pancakes, two pieces of chicken, and a biscuit. That Popeyes biscuit alone gonna put your ass down. That Popeye biscuit alone gonna have your ass locked up at the desk.
And then you already know the syrup. They're gonna try to be stingy, especially you go to the one on Dunn Ave.
Nah,
Don't go
Popeyes
over
ain't
there.
stingy with shit. I'd be like, hey, can I get a extra black and ranch? They put about six in my bag.
So do I have to slander the
You
one on
grab a
Dunn Ave again?
handful.
You
I
want me to
tell you,
slander?
I be telling y'all all the time, well, don't eat on the north side.
No, just don't go there. The north side is great, but of course he no longer than me. But at the same time, no. Just don't go to that Popeyes. The north side got some good food. Just don't go to that Popeyes.
Popeyes bad across the globe. Their service is terrible. You know that going in there. Sometimes it be ridiculous. Like nigga, the one on McDuff, the one right here by the studio. Hey, every time I go, they ain't got nothing, nigga. They ain't got something. I be like, yo, like even they be saying the managers will come out and they be like, one time, lady stepped outside to smoke a cigarette. I'm just sitting at my car. I had my window down, and she said, "We ain't never got nothing you need, huh? You tired of shit?" I say, look, man, I just want my chicken, please. Like that's really all I came for. I don't care what form it comes in at this point. Just make it spicy. You know what I mean? Give me some hot sauce if you got to, and a big ass box of chicken. So
So you gonna be upset when they say, "Hey, we out of pancakes." Like, yo, it's 7 a.m.
I ain't gonna trip because I'm gonna expect that shit. I'm gonna just ask what they got. If I gotta leave there with a box of hash browns, I'm leaving with something.
So a box full of hash browns and 2 pieces of chicken, and you good for breakfast.
What nigga? That's actually yeah.
Lunch. That's actually lunch instead of breakfast. You know that, right? It's just because it's tater tots instead of French fries.
I mean shit. I'm not mad at either or, bro.
So instead of having hot sauce, you gotta have syrup to make it feel like breakfast.
No, I add them both.
Huh? So 2 pieces of chicken with hot sauce and syrup. Is this why your stomach be hurt, dog? Just use one or the other. You don't need both for 2 pieces. Two.
Nah, bro. You mix the hot sauce and the syrup, bro. And you dip your chicken or pour it on however you prefer. And
This
shit, fine.
this man is nasty. Dog, what? That's an insane combination right early in the morning.
Nah, bro. Like that's when I go to Metro Diner. That's what I do.
That cigarette has you feeling good. I could tell you in a good stage right now.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to say it because we on YouTube, but that cigarette.
Man, hit the button.
I'm not hitting the button again. All right,
Bro,
I'll hit the button.
I beg your pardon.
I'm not hitting the green button because you said you're tired of seeing that one. We got to replace it with the other one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a picture of you.
With the little afro green. That's how you get solidified in history. I mean, my afro look like this though.
Yeah. No, your afro look like you fix computers, bro. You
And
had
he
the
don't.
afro like no, his afro looked like he fixed horses.
I mean, it looked like he was stealing from horses.
That
Why
nigga
is he that
looked
different?
like he shook the hooves and shit. Like
I mean, wouldn't he be doing that technically during this time period as to when this movie takes place?
I don't know, but that's not even the question. Why are we getting another slave film?
Because he's trying to go for two. You know what's crazy? They actually talked about this before the King Richard movie. I remember hearing about this movie like in 2015.
Yeah, I don't think we need more slave movies. I think we have a lot more stories that we can tell, and we're choosing to focus on the wrong ones. Like I'll be honest to say, I do think this Emmett Till movie is gonna be good, and I honestly think that it might be necessary to show that they did a very like disgusting crime to that man.
Yeah, that kid.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes it worse. It's a kid
14 years old, bro. That's crazy.
for whistling when he wasn't whistling. But hey, man, that's why his wife don't respect him. He do shit like this, like dog. You don't have to do this, bro. You could have just did Bad Boys 4.
We don't need that either.
Yeah, it's fine. They about to do it anyway.
I think that Hollywood just got to find a new formula for the black movie. You know what I mean? Because it can't continue to be the same black trauma.
And it's bad timing too because the Wakanda Forever trailer is getting a lot of hits. The tickets are selling out as we speak. People are excited for this movie, especially, you know what I mean, since Chadwick died. And then it's like a month later, y'all put this out. Like, damn, bro, y'all couldn't wait till like January.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I probably won't watch that movie at all. So like not even when it starts streaming and shit. I can't see myself watching it just because personally, I don't care to see more slave movies.
Right.
Again, I just think that there are so many different stories that we can tell in the black community. So
Yeah, it's going straight to streaming services. They're not putting it in movie theaters, thank God. So if you ain't got Apple or Quantflix is done. But if you don't have those sites, you ain't got to worry about seeing it. So I'm with you all the way. I've
I
been
don't
like
think
that since
conflict's done, bro. Don't put that out there.
we just ain't got access to it no more.
Yeah.
It was 8 people on there. Anyhow, yeah. No, you just did King Richard and this bad timing, Bob. King Richard was a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, King Richard was great.
I cried.
King Richard was amazing.
I cried multiple times. All right, let's get into. You want to get into real niggas of the week? They need their ass beat.
No, we got some listener questions actually.
All right.
So
How can they send in their listener questions?
to send in listener questions, you can send us an email at mail@ariopodcast.com. That's mail@ariopodcast. Or the better option, again, we'll say go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/ariopodcast. That way you get early access to the episodes. You get access to the Discord. You get bonus episodes. You get episodes like our Deeper Than REOP early. You get REOP at Night, which is coming back soon, man. I can't wait. Yeah, we got a lot in store, so definitely tap in, sign up for the Patreon, man. But if you want to just send us a question, mail at REO Podcast, or you can call us up 424-260-REOP. That's 424-260-REOP. So our first question is from, let me see. My notes is resetting. Denver Oakley says, random question, but are y'all some leftover eating ass niggas? If so, how long after till you call it bad? If it's past 12 hours, I throw that shit out ASAP. How you
I
feel?
mean, 12 hours. Yeah. 12 hours is reoccurring on this episode for some reason. Nah, yeah. About 12 hours. Like, I don't like to eat anything. Like, if it gets to night and I didn't eat it, I throw it away just because I got like a whole phobia of I might get sick.
Respect that. I don't. It depends on what the leftover is. Some shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I be leaving shit out for hours sometimes. And I grab that bit up and eat it like it was fresh. Nigga, cold chicken wet? Fuck that shit, nigga. Eat that shit. Put some hot sauce on it. Tabasco, man. Um, but again, it just all depends. Like if it go in the fridge, I'm gonna be honest, I probably ain't eating it again. Just because I feel like the fridge fuck up the taste and the flavor. If it's something I could put in the skillet, I can add some butter to bring it back to life or something like that, then cool. But like, I don't put no sandwiches in the fridge, nothing like that, because 9 times out of 10, I ain't gonna touch that shit. That bread get hard, fuck it.
Yeah. Like sandwiches, I feel like you gotta throw away ASAP.
I don't know, man. Again, like, if I want to eat a sandwich and it's late at night or something, man, look, I ain't putting it in the fridge. I might put that bitch in the microwave, let it bake overnight in the bacteria. You know what I'm saying? And I just grab that bit up and eat it.
Man, what?
I'm bullshitting, nigga. You know,
He said bacteria be in there.
I mean, it do. You know, your microwave, like, you definitely got to clean that bitch off. And so, to anyone out there that hasn't, let this be a reminder. Go ahead and clean your microwave. But I'm just saying it to say. I was joking to say, like, yo, you leave it in the
No,
microwave.
just say drink the bacteria. That's how you get strong. It might be the Popeye spinach.
My granddaddy told me you need a little mold in you now and then. So
Where do you old people be having wild verbiage? What does that even mean?
I ate some pumpkin pie. I talked about it. Not pumpkin pie. It was sweet potato pie.
Okay, I'm
And
about to say pumpkin pie. We don't eat that, sir.
yeah, hell no. But it was sweet potato pie. That bit, I ate it in the dark, cut the light on. That shit was fuzzy, bro. That shit was a wool sweater, whole coat over the top of it, bro. I was so disgusted. I threw that shit up. I was like, yo, granddaddy was like, hey, you'll be all right. Need a little mold in now and then.
Right. 'Cause at that point, you was playing such psychological warfare with yourself because had you not seen it, you would have ate it. Maybe you would have been all right.
No, nigga, I would have been sick as a dog,
You
bro.
don't know. You psych yourself up.
That shit was done for. That shit was done. So yeah, like them pies. Oh my god, bro, them shits probably sat out for like a week and a half, and I was wilding when I ate it. I knew I shouldn't have, but like I say, it was dark. I was high as the sky. I just stumbled in the crib. I was at my grandparents' house. I forget what was going on as to why we had sweet potato pie and everybody was there and shit. I stumbled in. It was probably 2, 3 in the morning. I grabbed that pie, cut the light on. My granddaddy watching TV and shit. Like, oh, it's moldy. It'll be
You
all
just
right.
immediately threw it out. Nah, at that point, you gotta just digest it, player. Go ahead, take that L.
It'll be all right.
That's what I'm saying. Like you should just took the L at that point. But all right, man. Charge it up to the game.
Yeah. I'm at that, it was all I could do.
Yeah, no, I think the only thing I've eaten before, and I legit was nervous, was like a smoothie. Cause green, if it's green and it turned brown, that ain't good. And I think I was like, I looked at the bottom of it and the brown was sitting, but I kept going through it. But I was decent, but I was like, bruh, I am taking a risk here. I'm risk taker Banks instead of risk taker Amp at this point.
Yeah, nah. I don't really do leftovers. Like I say, if it go in the fridge, so it just depends on what it is. Chicken dry out. A lot of your I get produce and shit dry out. So I ain't really trying to touch it again. But Some of the pastas and shit like that. I don't really eat many pastas like spaghetti, lasagna, chicken Alfredo. They're my basics, but
Yeah, I'm tapped out from chicken Alfredo thanks to women.
I ain't had chicken Alfredo in God knows how long. But
You know what I mean? Women have treated me to chicken Alfredo. I'm like, I don't want to see it again.
now they taking you out, babe.
No, when they cook it.
Uh,
Not LA
why
women. LA women can't cook. I'm talking about Southern women.
you be slandering LA women so
Because
much? Man?
they not. I apologize to all the Jacksonville women. I apologize to all y'all. Y'all are perfect. LA women are not good.
This nigga go everywhere and just be slandering the women, bro. You need a hug.
No, I don't slander New York women. I love New York women. I
Who
don't
said
slander. What? There's some good ones.
New York women are like very?
All right, Cardi B gonna tweet after she gonna tweet you. This bitch and saying that this bitch ass Sir Johnson.
And that would just prove my point. Like,
What you say fuck me for? That's all you can say. Yo, the funny thing is, not going back to that, Offset don't be saying nothing. He be on Call of Duty trying not to cheat. Like,
nah, he tapped in for a minute, but he got out of that shit. He knew better.
yeah. Hey, Quavo and Takeoff album is coming off this Friday. Can't wait.
All right, so on to our next question. Rand asked, shout out to Rand, shout out to Denver Oakley as well. He says, I don't want to cause an uproar but in the black community, but what y'all think is the best mix of Kool-Aid? Grape and lemonade with ice always went crazy to me. I ain't never tried that, but I'm not a big lemonade fan either, so I never really went for lemonade.
Yeah. No, I never even had the lemonade Kool-Aid. Like, all I had was the purple, the red, the blue, and that's probably it. And I
The
used to.
Now the strawberry lemonade is pretty good. I will give it that. I had that before.
When the last time you even had Kool-Aid? Because I don't remember the last time I had it.
It's probably been about 10 years now.
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't even seen it in the store.
Oh no, they definitely still got Kool-Aid. Like just even talking about it made me want to go whip up a batch, see if I still got it. You know what I'm saying? But one reason why I stopped drinking Kool-Aid is because I don't drink out the tap, you know? And
Add the alkaline water to it.
yeah, nah, I need to get a filtration system and and do it that way. But yeah.
Remember how Boosie mixed his he put a whole thing of sugar in it, and then everybody's like, "Yo, ain't you diabetic?" And then
uh,
he doing it at 1 a.m. too, which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, Kool-Aid good as fuck, but I think that the best mix for me was definitely the grape and like that tropical punch, that blue one.
Yeah, that's it. Because I think I used to do the red. It's like the red's the like the Uno card. You feel me? The reverse Uno card.
The
It's gonna
red and
work
the
for me.
blue, when that bit mixed the green, it was good now, but see, I ain't really get down with the green color one and then two, so I stayed away from that one. It just didn't look right to me. And then two, it did have a distinct taste, like yeah, they challenging each other. I don't really like that. They need more of a blend. They need more of a mesh. I like how the tropical punch, when you add that grape to it, you could taste the hints of everything else. You know what I'm saying? The other flavors, but that grape really stand out.
It just tastes like dye. This like when they say like, all right, Kool-Aid's not good for you. That's what you taste like. Especially if you add a lot of sugar to it, it kind of like dilates that dye flavor. But you
You
like,
talking
nah,
to
bro,
a southern nigga, bro? So I mean, we pull half the bag in that bit.
it's too much.
Nah, bro, you gotta. If the bottom of your Kool Aid ain't got this much sugar, bro, you ain't did it right,
How do you have teeth right now if you've been doing that? It's a entire like childhood.
bro. Kool Aid good as fuck.
but your teeth are intact. That's not possible if you do that much sugar.
I mean, I don't know.
You know what somebody brought to my attention, even though this is Kool-Aid, it's Kool-Aid related, even though it's a different brand. Shouts out to Vanna Blackberry. He said, yo, Hawaiian Punch never gets cold, no matter how much ice you put in there. And I had to think about it. I'm like,
Hawaiian
damn.
Punch is the devil's drink, bruh.
Yeah, I said,
It's the devil's juice.
he said that like in April. I'm like, well, shit, you right. Like, that shit never get cold.
Nah, it's like acid for ice.
Yeah, that's a whole theory I gotta think about, or I gotta do some research. I'm like, yo, this is the only drink I've ever had, and it's not getting cold at all.
But Hawaiian Punch actually isn't good. Like to me, it does not taste good.
It don't. It just tastes hot. It tastes like some tea,
Now
some
niggas
colorful tea.
niggas drink. Oh, I don't put some stocks up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, nah, it's not good.
And the last time I seen somebody drink some
I'm
Hawaiian
very
Punch,
thankful. I'm past those days.
so like, bro, I didn't see Hawaiian Punch being drunk until recently, and I was out there, and she drank that shit in front of me. I was like, "You don't want no water? No. All right,
Yeah, she dangerous.
off of your conversation. Off of your conversation."
I'm gonna
But
need you
nah,
to go one episode without an off-air conversation.
lately I've been doing that. Lately I've been doing. I just don't want to say here. This is a prominent platform. Random Extra Podcast. Patreon.com/RAOP. I
RLO
fucked it.
podcast.
Cast. Signed
Yeah.
up for the Patreon.
So we got some suits to rate, but we're gonna hold on to those. We'll probably get into those at a later point. But let's
Joe,
jump into these real niggas of the week, and they need their ass beat.
real quick, let me ask you something
Talk
about
to me.
one suit. Can you see him?
That nigga got on the baggiest suit I've ever seen in my life. I'm not gonna lie. That
Remember,
nigga got
Master.
on a mob boss suit.
What's that baby boss? What's that cartoon?
Yeah, that nigga got on a suit like he'd have a Tommy gun tucked in his drawers.
Yeah, see, John Cena. You can't see me, see.
That bitch came with a 1947 Chevy.
Remember, goddamn, I lost my chain. Oh no, Master P charges to the game. Remember that
Yeah,
cover?
yeah.
Yeah, that's that suit.
Man, that suit is fucking ridiculous. I mean, while we here, let's just go ahead and run through them, man. We'll do some quick ratings on our level.
All right.
You want to go ahead and cue up the music?
Yes, sir. This music is brought to you by somebody name I won't say on IG.
You gotta rate that suit, my brother. You gotta rate that suit, my brother. You gotta rate that suit, my brother. You gotta go rate that suit. Arriba!
Change your name on IG if you ever see this.
Man, shout out to Eric.
Yeah, but change your name on IG.
First, we got man, you fucking me up, dog.
I just change the name, bro. That's all I can say.
All right,
Playmaker.
man. What you giving this suit, man?
It's Playmaker, so I'm gonna give it a 10. The picture looked like it's from like 1940. I don't know why it came out like that when I saved this to the computer. This looked like
Yeah,
a prom 1950 suit, like we in high school.
I don't know why he looking like that, man. That nigga looking like a deer in the headlights. He
Joe.
looked like he just got caught cheating, bro.
Well, Michael Irvin, yeah. If y'all know
No,
about Michael
he
Irvin,
not looking like he got caught cheating. He looking like he caught someone cheating.
or they found his cocaine stash.
I didn't want to go there, but
He's open about He been open about it for like 30 years, yo.
Yeah, I know that, but he's not saying he's still doing it.
You ain't gonna never. I mean, how many people that do it actually admit that they do it, and then they shouldn't be upset?
So I'll give the suit like a 7. The plaid suit with the stripe tie, not a fan. The suit looks crazy. It just doesn't go together. The black tie with the stripes underneath that gray suit doesn't look good to me. The pink lapel, handkerchief in the pocket, I don't like it. 7, 6.
Yeah, I'll be biased and say 10 just because it's Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
The real 88. All right. Let me get up. The name of this person that submitted this one was Nick.
Nick submitted himself, man. This is a fire ass suit, man. Nick, you look good, brother. You look good out there in Chicago. Is he in Chicago? I think he moved.
I'm not sure. I thought this was Dame at first. I swear.
I think he moved to Chicago, though. I'm not sure. But anyway, looking good, man. I get that suit a 10 for sure. What are you doing, brother? What are you doing right now? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get that suit a 10, man. My brother dressed to a T. Shoes shining. Are those monk straps? Oh yeah, man. You definitely getting a 10 from me.
I give it an 8.
8? Why so?
The print. I don't know if that's zebra print. No disrespect, but it looked nice though. But also, I'm not a suit guy.
Picture. That's because of the picture.
Let me see if I can pull it up on my end. I'm not a suit guy too, so I'm gonna always give y'all suits an 8 because I'm a hater to a certain extent.
That's the way that the suit is textured, and the camera made it do that.
Let's see.
Yeah, you showing you're not a suit guy.
This should look like a PS1 now that I zoom into it. I see it here. Yeah, you know what I mean. It looked like no disrespect couch material, but it's clean.
So disrespectful.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Damien. It's for real. This is from.
This is Biff Lawson. Yeah. I'm gonna kill this nigga. I'm glad y'all see.
Okay, I don't think you can say that on air, but all right.
Yeah, I might have to edit that, but
yeah, I'm about to say.
Let's time step that. 137.
Yeah.
That's a suit he gonna see the Lord in. But it's a nice
double down.
You gonna bring it up so we can actually rate it?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, it's all black, so you got the head start.
He definitely clean, man. Showing off the watch. It look like what's that on it? Oh, what's that on your wrist, man? That's beautiful, man. I like that. I'm gonna have to take that off you when I come visit New York.
All right, so it just gets more disrespectful.
That's my man, 50 grand. But yeah, he owed me a fade. Shout out to Biff Lawson. So again, another 10. Because again, nothing wrong with that suit at all. You cannot go wrong with the black and white combo. Of course, the tie, perfect choice. Shoes shining. You know what I'm saying? My man did a spit shine on them. So
I like the high top, the Zangief high top. And then, you know what I mean? The suit is fire too. When it comes to Men in Black, suit having ass. I like that.
Green ass nigga.
All right. This next one is Future.
I mean, I ain't even a fan of shorts and a blazer. Like, I think that's a shitty ass combo. The blazer is interesting. I mean, I would have much rather seen it with some pants. I think if they were like classic suit pants, it would still be a bad look. But yeah, nah, I'm not liking this at all, bro. This gets like a 4 for me.
And then the Timbs too, it's like, why?
Oh, I didn't even realize he had on Tim's. Yeah, so that's a 2.
Yeah,
That shit disgusting.
yeah. I'm not messing with it, yo. All right. Next one is Russ.
Uh, this suit is ass.
Yeah, I just like the Jordans. That's it. The Jordan. I think those are 5s.
Yeah, I would never put those on or the outfit.
I like the camo pants. That's about it. But everything else,
Camo pants hard actually, but they're not with the combo and not with a fucking suit.
I hope this ain't recent because y'all are definitely gonna lose more Laker fans. I don't think this recently.
Nigga, you can look in his face and tell this ain't recent.
Let me see. Let me pull it on full screen. You right. He like Steve Urkel.
Nigga looks like he's in high school.
I thought it was TPJ at first. You can't see me. We talked about this one. And this person is Drizzy.
Yeah, Dreezy.
She all right?
I'm not a fan of this look.
I mean, she looked like
But
a hashtag good woman.
it's not for me to judge her suit.
That's what I'm like. I don't know. This is a different type of podcast right now.
It looked like she got ties tied from the lapel. Yeah, that suit ain't it. Whatever that shit is, that shit ain't it. But I ain't gonna judge it.
She like a good woman. That's all I can say. Hope she okay though.
My nigga look like he belong on a queen of diamonds.
Hey, I thought Ellen John, they stood him up, bruh. I thought this was his wake suit. I was like, damn, Ellen passed.
Nah, Harry Styles in his bag with this one. I ain't gonna lie to you.
With the makeup on and everything. All right.
I mean,
this is a 1.
It's actually kind of clean, bro.
Come on, bro.
It's actually kind of clean, but it's too much. It's too much.
Give me motion sickness right now.
Yeah, it's too much.
Your man's.
Outside of the ugly ass DNG brooch, this is actually kind of nice. And the fedora. He shouldn't have worn the fedora. But I understand the fedora, so I'm not really mad at it. But I like the sweater. I love the sweater. The turtleneck.
Yeah.
Beautiful. The blazer cool, and it's a nice combination.
Yeah. I like the jacket. That's all I'll say. I really like that jacket. The blazer being turtleneck. I've never been a turtleneck. Look like that brother got a turtleneck. I've never been a turtleneck type dude. So like me, light skin, bald head with a beard and turtleneck, like it's too many jokes. So especially if it's this color. I'm gonna look like a butterfinger.
Yeah, you just don't know how to dress. You can admit it.
That's facts. But I do know how to wear this random. You can't get this random Max shirt nowhere. I was about to go ahead and do a promo about it. You can't get this shirt nowhere. This is done. All right.
So yeah, I'm gonna give the baby. I'll give him a 8, a solid 8 for sure. Cause I love that. I love that sweater with the blazer.
I agree. I like the blazer, so I give it an 8. Turtleneck, yeah. But at the same time, like I said, you said it. It's a shoot. I don't know how to dress, so. But I do like the blazer.
I hate the brooch on the blazer. It's on both sides too, and I just think that's too flamboyant. On top of that loud ass blazer, I think the fedora is like just a distraction at this point with everything going on. But I see how it complements the blazer. So
I kind of like the top hat. I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah, the top hat nice, but like I said, it's a lot going on.
All right, let's get into real niggas of the week. They need to ass beat, and then we are out. First real nigga of the week is from Amp. This young lady said, and I guess it's alluding. Well, of course, it's about the guy. Been dating this guy for 4 months, and today he asked me why I don't have a boyfriend. Ooh, tough break, nigga. Uh, have you done this before? Don't snitch on yourself.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, I ain't playing with nobody hard or no shit like that. I be trying to keep it up front. We ain't together.
Yeah, that's how it should be. You shouldn't just kept it 100. All right, the second one is from the artist named M. Triplin. I never heard of him before.
But yeah.
Yeah, performed at Rolling Loud for 13 people. Got to start somewhere. Obviously, I can't play the video due to copyright, but it looked like he performed in about 13 people. But him keeping a positive energy, positive perspective about it, it's pretty good. So keep going, kid. Eventually, you'll make it. If you
I
keep that
mean,
attitude.
that nigga is on one of the biggest stages of the year. Like, he has made something. You know what I mean? So it don't
Mm-hmm.
matter that he performed for 13 people. The fact that he still went up there and did a performance, that's huge. The fact that he was able to gather footage from it, huge. You know what I'm saying? He has that to add to his resume. So God willing, he's able to prosper from there and make the most of it. But yeah, shout out to him. That's some real shit. That's some real shit, especially to even be able uh to reach that level.
Exactly. So, hey man, just keep going. You don't know where you're gonna go, but if he keeping that mindset, he definitely gonna go far. So, and this is Amp's final one. Kodak Black paid rent for 28 families facing eviction and covered their rent until the end of the year. So, I guess you take the bad with the good. In this instance, it's pretty good, but still, don't do all them antics.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, yours is.
Kai Senate. Um, so he recently reached, I want to say, 100,000 subscribers on his Twitch.
Mhm.
And the thing about it is, you see the question here: what does he even do? And if you go through these pictures, can you go to the next few pictures that actually blow it up?
Let me see.
This was in the last few hours the last hour of his stream. So I think he was able to level everything up to, well, don't worry about it, Banks. In the
Yeah.
last hour, he was playing with, he had someone that was, it looks like a snake trainer. It looks like someone that was, arsonist, more or less,
Yeah.
a magician, and then he celebrated reaching 100,000 streams. So I definitely want to salute him. Shout out to that brother doing his thing, and shit, I wish the best for him.
Also, you added this as well, right? There's a quote from him. Oh,
No,
that's
that's
somebody
not.
else.
Yeah.
But no, this is your other real nigga. I apologize for that. But no, Kai actually going back to him, he has something along the lines of this. We'll get to this in a second. About he had a phone call with his mom when he got 100K followers, and she gave him that whole
That was at 80.
yeah. When he got the 80 still. So from there to now, she basically gave him a motivation speech or told him exactly what he's been doing, and then from 80 to 100,000. And I swear that phone call that he got from her was probably not even a month ago. So to jump that far, 20K more, it goes along the line with your next real nigga of the week, which is Doughboy official.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Cosin's upcoming. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much it goes in line with this one, but I do think that because I don't know if he had money prior to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he had access to some of the guests like
No.
through. easy resources and things of that sort. But I do know this. What he's doing now is definitely paving the way for people to be able to follow and create a large income for themselves. I think it's unfair that he gets the short end of the stick with a 50-50 split from Twitch. And hopefully he's able to, convert that following over to a platform like YouTube or something of the sort and get a larger cut. But, again, shout out to him. My next real nigga of the week is Doughboy because I felt like this was something that everyone could resonate with. Everyone that isn't born into wealth or, doesn't have it. Ain't nothing wrong with struggling, so don't let nobody make you feel lame because you broke right now. Long as you grinding to get out of that shit, only way it's lame is if you get comfortable with your situation. So every person that I know has been through something to where at some point or another they had to face that, hey, I might not be at the status that I think I'm at, or not to say I think I'm at, but the status that I'm accustomed to. And oftentimes we look at that and we say, yo, you broke, you know what I mean? And it's like, nah, I'm going through a patch or whatever. So to anybody out there that is going through a patch, hey, keep your head up, you know what I'm saying? Keep grinding, feet in the mud, and you'll be able to work your way out of it. Just don't give up. That's the big thing.
That's it. I don't even need to piggyback off that because, yeah, that's all I can say. Just keep on working. This one is from Earl. If y'all haven't seen, the Dolphins have a pretty good tailgate. I'll say so myself. So a lot
Play the
of booty.
video.
I can't put the video up, brother. It's ass shaking.
They have that on YouTube.
Oh shit. In that case, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
This nigga might need a freak bowl suspension.
I didn't know I could play the video. I didn't know I could do that. All right. So also, hey man, from that to the Dolphins doing what they doing. So
Yeah, so the Dolphins have, the tailgate. They had strippers out there. It looks like a good time. Banks is not showing the video for whatever reason, but it looks like a good time for sure, and it looks like they it's something to see. They play the Jags. I hope they bring that shit up.
the
But
motherfuckers, it's not loading. My fault, audience is not loading, and I tried to convert it over.
the next real nigga of the week comes from Gulfside. Um, He says, real nigga of the week for the homie lending him his crib and biting his tongue. They need their ass beat for bruh begging to use his homie crib to smash and chopping on him like that. So there was a Facebook post that says, my homie begged me to let him borrow my crib so he could slide a shorty over. I finally said, all right. Why this nigga walk through the door with her and say to me, damn nigga, you still in my house? Shorty started laughing at me. Niggas always gotta show off. I just left.
That's funny.
I find it hard to believe, but I mean, hey, that is that is why I could definitely believe that it happened, but I think he was more so looking for Facebook reaction.
It's still funny. Like, let's say it's a shoot. That's still pretty funny. Like, I wouldn't even be mad if somebody did that. Like, if you did that to me, I'd be like, all right.
I mean, you can't do nothing in the situation. What you gonna say? Let me go pull out my lease.
Somebody would do that. Somebody might do that in this day and age. Somebody might do that.
This your house, nigga. Let me pull out my baby picture. Like y'all both gonna be embarrassed, nigga. So I mean, I think that he definitely real nigga of the week for just sliding and let them use the crib. But bro, definitely should have got his ass beat after that.
Oh, without question. That's still hilarious to me. All right. This next one is from King. So a young lady said on TikTok, which goes back to what I said earlier. Met this rapper on IG who I thought really liked me. Called me every day and would take me on dates. And then, he convinced me to start selling my RAM so we could spend more time together.
So I saw the TikToks and shit. Did you watch it? Did you follow it?
Absolutely.
And she was lying. I mean,
But if he told her to get on the blade, that's fine.
I don't believe that was the case. I think again she was just feeding for the story. I do think that she was out there wilding herself, but I don't know that she was out there selling pussy.
All right. This next one.
Fishing for likes, man.
Hey, but if it worked, it worked. You feel me? Now she can put her cash app up, and somebody gonna spend the money, I guess. All right. So going back to the Kai, 100K subscribers on Twitch from Sir Joshua. Just a disclaimer too. Some of the videos I can't pull up for some reason. I'm trying to upload them, but they are not working on my end. So y'all can blame StreamYard, or I'll take accountability. But he celebrated basically getting 100K subscribers. So going back to him, and then what you were saying earlier about him, yeah, I remember he was doing videos, him and some other dude from the Bronx named Ronald Susan or Sunsen or something like that. So they was doing it during the Vine days, if I'm not mistaken. So he had some humble beginnings.
Yeah. I think that he been doing this thing, and it's good to see that he's getting rewarded for that. You know what I mean? In the sense, his audience is really fucking with him.
Facts. So everybody get put over, man. Eventually, y'all get y'all turn to shine. So just keep going. All right, let's get in. They need their ass beats, and I feel like the first person, which is yours, boy, he needs ass beat for 2 things this past week, 3 actually.
Yeah, a lot actually, but yeah, this was just insane. I'm telling every team that needs some offense to pick up AB because he's shown that he still has the ability to expose a D. That's crude, that's crazy, that's lunatic, like a lunacy, especially after having exposed yourself and really like putting the nail in the coffin for any team to touch you.
Yeah, it was done before, but now it's officially over. And then I think the nail in the coffin, honestly, is him doing or showing Tom Brady's soon-to-be ex-wife, if they don't work it out, on IG, and he hugging her, and he says something along the lines of like, Tom Brady didn't do something, I could save you. Something wild like that. So it's like, dog, Tom Brady is the golden child of the NFL. You're done.
Yeah, he been wilding. So, I got another one, which is that Coach Stormy chick with the low vibrational plate shit. And the only reason I'm even adding her is this. She really think, like, I went on her page and all of her shit is just regurgitations of like motivational speakers, financial advisors, and shit like that. It's a culmination of things that you hear 1,000 times over. She ends her videos with like a Bible quote or something of the sort. And it's like, yo, like, you are not a motivational person. Like, you cannot be a life coach talking to people like that.
Is she in Atlanta? I feel like this is Atlanta shit.
I don't know. But supposedly that chick that she was talking to on the yacht, supposedly her mother had just died before she had went to before that took place.
Yeah.
So at the end, when she was saying, you ain't, if I don't look out for you, you ain't got nobody, your mama, your daddy, your auntie. That shit was crazy to me. Even if it was the case of she had lost her parents, that's some wild shit to say. It wouldn't matter if it had been 10 years, 5 years, 10 months, 10 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, people just not kind anymore, yo. Just be kind, yo. You don't have to be a fucking prick all the time. Like, to say something like that, and then me, I'm like, oh no, I don't care if we in the middle of the ocean.
Oh yeah, she would have been in the middle of the ocean.
Right uppercut would have came out of nowhere.
I would have had to beat her ass for sure.
Yeah, like come on, man, be nice, yo. Especially if that's supposed to be your friend. Tells you how much friendship mean nowadays. Damn.
That ain't her friend. That ain't her.
Definitely not saying nothing like that. Fucking prick. Anyhow. All right, I got amps. It's a guy throwing a bowling ball, like I said, or a bowling ball. I'm sorry, I can't get the video up as much as I want to. Like I said, for some reason these videos are not uploading. I can't convert them over, but a guy threw a bowling ball and it went up and hit a screen.
So it looked like you got to give some the full story for him. It looked like he was trying to show that he could bowl a strike from the seats, the seating area. And they told him before he started, like, yo, this nigga wildin'. But before he gets to, yeah, he throws the ball to the roof essentially and hits the screen. I wonder how much he had to pay for that.
For that screen, probably like $300, like a 32-inch, yo.
Ain't no way it was $300.
For that little 32-inch, if I gotta pay more than that, nah. But the fact that he was confident, he said, "All right, it's about to go up," and boom, that's fucking hilarious, yo.
I don't even think nobody planned for that.
Run it back one more time, just so y'all can see. He was worried about the screen hitting him.
Nah, I think that nigga was worried about what he finna have to do.
All right, Joe. This next one is also from Amp. I need you to read this one.
Jeffrey, whoa. See, yeah, OnlyFans culture got people going crazy. Like, honestly, I think it's even wild just to be joking about that shit.
Yeah, and that's a whole conversation. I'm gonna let y'all talk about it because it still is going to continue through the rest of the year. But I'm like, dog, we was shorties when that happened. I'm like, I don't think it's too much you can laugh about.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, we desensitized at this point, and I think the generation behind us is going to be even more so desensitized. So there is starting to become a lack of emotional attack. Yeah, yeah. Remorse would be a better word. Yeah, or empathy, rather, empathy for anyone else. But hey, we'll see where it goes.
All right, this next one is from Amp as well.
This nigga was trying to see heaven.
He definitely going to hell for doing that. First of all, to put it in Duce, I ain't mad at that. But at the same time, that's a waste of good Duce, man.
He dropped a bunch of shrooms in the Douce, and he got a blunt rolled next to it. I was always told don't smoke and do shrooms. The 2 times I've done shrooms, I smoked. It just made me tired as fuck. So I didn't get no real experience of the shrooms. I was just like dead sleepy. Well, the second time I tried going out, and I hated that experience. Like I hated that experience. I did not feel comfortable amongst people.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have smoked, but
Yeah, you're not supposed to. You're just supposed to do that and then be around a good environment. I went outside and did it,
yeah.
and acid as well. Let's go outside, people. All right, this next one is I invited him to the crib, cooked for him, gave him. I'm not reading that. She, fellatio, you can manifest in your mind. Let him fold me like an origami bird, called him a Uber, then blocked him and never spoke to him again. I really beat him to the punch. We are learning the game too fast. That's not how the game is played, baby.
Yeah, she thought that she did something
You
She
thought I
gave
was feeling you? You not a much.
she gave that nigga a great day. That was
That's,
about it.
that's, that sound like a birthday, yo. This next one, you know something I've done that even Jesus dying on a cross won't redeem me from? I have a Muslim ex who I used to put bacon fat in his food on a very regular basis, and I didn't tell him until like 2 years in. That's just disrespectful.
Wow.
I would throw a
Yeah,
rock. In,
yeah,
in,
that's crazy.
in the Middle East, they would throw rocks at you for doing that.
Um, that's crazy. Who is that from?
Looks like yeah. There's no name attached to it.
Nah, so it probably was from.
Look at it. It's just in the notes. I don't see a name attached to it.
It probably is from him. So, yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. She definitely should have been strangled like Homer did Bart Simpson. Eyes pop out and she should have been strangled.
I don't.
Um, this next one is from King. It says, I think men like natural women because it reminds them of kids. What? No shade.
Seems like you're ready. Nah, we like it
See,
because
I hold up real quick. I hate when women do that. Trying to make things to where all men have this fixation on like either some kind of child fixation or it's gay or something of the sort. It's like, yo, like I get that you want to disrespect niggas or whatever, but y'all take it like some women take it entirely too far, and it's like, yo, like calm the fuck down. Go seek some therapy or something.
yeah, like I'll say this real quick about that. You worked yourself into a shoot by saying that, and it's like that's too far. Like you saying, we become desensitized where it's like now people getting kids involved with jokes. It's kind of like used to be you don't really do that. Now people doing it to get their point across, and it's a very bad point.
Like that's not that should be a disturbing thought to people. You know what I mean? Like the idea of someone doing that to a child, like having any kind of, you know what I'm saying, affection for a child like that, to where, yeah, I don't know, but
We we in Revelations, brother. I ain't
shot
trying to
it,
preach, but we in the end times. We in the end game now.
shot it need her ass beat for sure.
This person need to be. I can't say it, but yeah. A landlord in Las Vegas admitted that he required a homeless woman of 5 to sign a housing contract that required her to perform fellatio for 5 years. It ain't fellatio, but I'm gonna say that, and barred her from dating any man who's larger than him or owns a gun. When they say larger, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm surprised that she would sign into a agreement like that for one, because I do understand that the house was nice and it's big and everything, but if you can't enjoy your company, if you can't enjoy your life for that matter, there's no point in signing up for it. But yeah, that nigga need to be
that's,
right.
that's all I'm gonna say. Just you feel me? I know the audience that's listening, you don't understand what I'm saying, but use your imagination. What would you do?
Shout out to Josh for that one, man.
Yeah.
Who you got up next?
This tweet is from Golf Side 13, and it's just Jimmy Butler's media day when he had to fade. Yo, y'all. Hey, man, listen. I know it's because it's the messenger, but I'm about to do this next. I'm next, man. I'm about to get that done.
You
Y'all
about to
just,
get what?
it ain't gonna be like this, but I'm about to get some dreads.
Man, what the hell is wrong with you?
Fuck. Hey, the ball joke's gonna go away, ain't they?
Is that what you worried about?
Nah, not really. I just want to see if I can do it.
That's crazy, bro. If you like, I might slap them shits out your head. You move back to Florida with that shit,
Well, when I come out there, which is very soon, then still, if I come out there, hey, man,
bro. That would be the greenest thing. Them
it did say a
everywhere
man.
you would go, they would fry your ass.
Yeah, no, because Florida people, y'all are the kings of frying people besides Chicago.
Bro, you wouldn't be able to shop nowhere.
No, and then that's just the women cracking jokes.
Shit, that's crazy, bro. That you even considering that.
This next one is from Paperwork Sam. Uh, I
Oh
don't,
no.
yeah, I don't feel comfortable quoting this one. For two of the tweets, I don't feel like if once again subscribe on YouTube, Random Acts of Podcast on YouTube. I'm sorry, listeners. I just don't want to say exactly what's going on, but they are in fact talking about the male genitalia, and a grown man just quoted and said, "How was that?" He used a
Yeah.
different word, but I'm not. I'm not saying that. I'm comfortable with my sexuality, but not like that. All right, that's it, man. Once again, how do they submit they real niggas of the week? They need to ask me, Joseph.
Send us an email at mail@REO podcast or go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, sign up for the $5 tier. Matter of fact, sign up for the $10 tier. Get your name shouted out. Once we bring that back, man, patreon.com/REO podcast. Like Banks was saying, go ahead and tap in with the YouTube as well. That's youtube.com/REO podcast. And if you ever want to just call in and chop it up, we'll just leave us a voicemail. We didn't have any today. So hopefully when Amp comes back, we stacked up with a few. Y'all call in and show your love, show some support. Tell us about your favorite episode. Tell us about how you came about hearing about Oreo podcast. Man, just let us know you with us. But call us up at 424-260-REOP. That's 424-260-REOP.
Absolutely, man. If we ain't got nothing else, we out, yo. Thank y'all for being here once again. Y'all already know what it is, man. Love the amp.
Yeah, for sure, man. We appreciate everybody rocking with us. We're gonna hold things down in the meantime, continue to do everything that we can to keep this boat afloat. But y'all do what y'all gotta do, man. Like, subscribe, comment, share these posts, tap in with us on TikTok and Instagram. And again, man, we appreciate y'all.
And on that note, we out.